represent. You know, been talk like president. They rule Nigeria with sentiment. And take your office to revenge. Oh yeah, now, Oga Buhari, we dey beg you. Let Nigeria no go scatter for your head, yo. Yes, sir. After the election, where them do, we still dey wait to see the change, yo. Cause all the promise when they make, it don't dey be like saying a fake, yo. And where the money, where the food, Nigerian people want improve. But since you come, na tears and pain, we don't tire to complain, no employment for the youth, and security no improve. Inflation don't they hit the roof. Still government no they say the truth. Oh yeah, my brother, this change now yawa. We don't do this suffer. Pray God for Nigeria. Oh yeah, my sister, this coming now yawa. You don't do this suffer. We pray God for Nigeria. After the election, where them do, we still dey wait to see the change.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are watching from, all over the world, or the time you are watching, you are watching from now. So thank you for joining me. Read the caption of the broadcast. Make your own contribution accordingly, because it's going to be hot this afternoon. It's going to be hot. The truth is going to hot, and there's so many of you are going to get offended. Some of you are watching me for the first time. You might be offended, but guess what? You will still find the truth that you will likely be liberated from as well from this conversation today. So, to my friends on YouTube, thank you. You have me this afternoon, and I'm glad to be with you as well. To my friends on Facebook, Mayegun's Diary, thank you for joining me. So, I'm going to put the music back on, get myself ready, share the broadcast, and then we will start in a minute. Tinubu is a traitor, and that is why I really want to have your attention this afternoon. I'm going to break everything down. Why is Tinubu a traitor? Why is the current statement on Amotekun should actually never be taken for, with a pinch of salt, as they say. I'm going to break everything down. Tinubu has never worked in the interest of Yoruba whenever it comes to national politics, the Abuja politics. I'll break it down for you today. And for those who have suddenly made him their god, fine. Sometimes it sort of makes you, or if it makes you feel better, to have something that you bow for, something you look up to, something that will never go wrong. For some reason, it's understandable, but it's also good to know the type of God you are bowing your head for. If Tinubu is one of yours, maybe this is a time you may have a rethink as well, because it is going to be hot, open. Be prepared. So I'm coming back in a minute.
Security, no improve. Inflation don't they hit the roof. Still government no they say the truth. Oh yeah, my brother, this change now yawa. We don't do this suffer. Pray God for Nigeria. Oh yeah, my sister, this coming now yawa. We don't do this suffer. We pray God for Nigeria. After the election, where them do, We still don't wait to see the change. Cause all the promise when they make.
Thank you very much for your time. For those who have just joining us, this is Mayegun live. And for some of you joining me for the first time, this is Mayegun live. And I say things exactly the way I see them. Doesn't make me completely right. Okay? So I am not here to preach, what do you call it, perfection. I am just here to state the obvious. Things you know, but you never really took serious. You never really pay attention to. But things that are, obviously, hindering the what do you call it, the progress, the promise that they are giving back to that country through their leadership. Tinubu replied, or let's say responded, to the ongoing conversation about Amotekun. It was more or less like a rat. Is like a rat that got smoked out of his hideout to make a statement. He wasn't happy. If you have actually read the statement that he released, he supported the governors for creating Amotekun. He also supported Malamu, Attorney General, for declaring Amotekun illegal. Then he wants to use the opportunity to make himself relevant. He's never thought about the security of Yoruba land. He's not interested in that. He's more interested in what makes him money. And then the growing of his army of criminals, touts, agberos, the thugs, the political thugs armed by him in Southwest and his own colleagues in Southwest, in Yoruba land. That's all he's interested in. But this is like an opportunity. Instead of him to come out and take a position, like a clean, clear position that we know him for, the time he was pretending to be representing Yoruba, the time they were pretending to be representing Yoruba, the time they were shouting Awolowo, 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 the time they were shouting Afenifere, 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 and so on, the times they were shouting that Yorubas deserves better in Nigeria. The guy has been the guy has been sort of making himself a good kind of. He's making himself money and he's not interested in anything Yoruba. Before Tinubu finally came to prominence in 1992, when he was elected senator for Lagos State, then Babangida was the president. Abacha came, sent all of them away. Tinubu ran away, like many other people, many other Yoruba leaders. Those who couldn't run away got arrested. Many of them died in prison. Many of them died later after prison due to the consequences of the incarceration of Abacha, of Yoruba leaders. Tinubu ran away. He ran here. Many of them. In 1999, when another opportunity presented itself for them to start democracy again, Tinubu returned to Nigeria shouting. It was more or less like, starting from where they stopped in 1992, 1993, before Abacha sent all of them away. So it started again, Yorubas, we have been, we represent Yoruba must won. Part of the demand of some of them in 1999 was that we have to restructure Nigeria. Abraham Adesonya, Bola Ige, and many of them like that, Yoruba leaders, Afenifere, where Tinubu was just like a mini guy within them, but it was popular according to the record, according to the history, that many of these old leaders or dead leaders, left. Tinubu was smart, according to them. He was a go-to person, especially when it comes to organizing crowd, organizing event for the party. It was very good. In fact, he stood a chance of becoming the Lagos State governor at the time, but there was another guy. I don't want to go into all of that. But what brought them together? They said they needed to restructure Nigeria. Number two, Nigeria need to return to regionalism. Number two, that's the most important thing. Yorubas must start controlling our resources. We have to rule ourselves the way or what we signed up for in 1960. That was the message of Afenifere for those of you Yorubas who are now today's Tinubu ass leakers, history changers, manipulators, criminals who are trying to force this on us, calling Tinubu a Yoruba leader, an aberration, an insult. It was about Yoruba. It was meant to be about Yorubas. Everything ACN represent was meant to be about Yorubas. But when they had the chance in Yoruba land, what did they do? Go back and check on that. For 20 years, 20 solid years, that they've managed to be in charge, off and on. For 20 years, you can see what Yoruba land is. You can see the mega city Lagos State they built. You know what it is. You know what things are. You know what the infrastructure and the rest of that are. Well, you know about the development of our people. You know where we are today. And they were supposed to be the Afenifere, the Yoruba leaders. So they were supposed, even if they say, oh, it's because Abuja won't give us that blah, 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 blah. But they actually came to prominence. Tinubu and his gang, they came to prominence because they said they were fighting for Yoruba. Now, look at the settings in Abuja right now. Let's even now come to the fact that Tinubu is now, they said it's the national leader of APC, the party at the center. We have insecurity issue. We have the issue of revenue, the issue of, management of our resources. But they complain that there is no money because most of the money is taken to Abuja. But they forgot that for 20 years, we are yet to see them stand for the same thing that brought them to prominence, which is Yoruba first, Yoruba first. It wasn't about Yoruba, it was about them, right? They are in power now. They have the chance of at least making it happen. Even though we have never seen any traces, we've never seen any history, we've never seen any antecedent of them asking or demanding for Yoruba regional power control that they have been championing. For once, they've never done that. For 20 years, I've never seen where they said, oh, AD governors came together. AC governors came together. Oh, ACN governors came together. Now that they control 5 states in Yoruba land, right? I am yet to hear the fact that they say, oh, APC governors came together to demand for restructuring. APC governors come together to demand for resource control. APC governors coming together to demand for regionalism. At least they have the power. That's what they campaigned on. That's how they became prominent. So when people are now talking about Nigeria and talking about Yoruba land, and they are now putting Nigeria over Yoruba land just because Tinubu wants to be president of Nigeria. That is not why Tinubu became prominent in Yoruba land. For those of you who might have lost it, Tinubu did not become prominent in Yoruba land because he loved Nigeria. No. He became prominent in Yoruba land because he joined the group that believed that Yoruba deserve better in Nigeria. In fact, if we have our way, Yorubas would leave Nigeria before tonight. That's how Tinubu became prominent. Tinubu did not campaign. The people of Borno State did not make Tinubu prominent. The people of Sokoto, the people of Kano, the people of Benue, the people of Enugu. No one else made him who he is, other than the region he professed to be representing. But for once, I have not seen him. I am yet to see him. Not just him, but the people who also say they believe in him, they follow him. I am yet to see them once to stand up and say, now we need to follow these things that Yorubas have been fighting for years. Why do you think Yorubas keep voting for AD, ACN, then APC? Why do you think they were voting for them? Because Tinubu led them to make them believe that he is standing for something that is Yoruba, not Nigeria. Suddenly, an Hausa man will be abusing me, fighting a Yoruba man. Hausa man, because he's defending Tinubu, right? A northerner that didn't know how Tinubu became whatever he is today. Even though he's living and surviving on the resources of Yoruba land himself, collecting pension as a former governor of Lagos State, owning the choice properties in Yoruba land right now because he was a Yoruba governor and now a Yoruba, or let's say a Yoruba political leader. Now they are talking about security. How do we secure them? Let's start from where they all started, where they all came from. They said Yorubas needed. I am now, I'm saying this to you now Just to let you know that these things were what Tinubu and his gang told Yorubas. The reason why Yoruba is still part of Nigeria is because they believe that Tinubu and his gang are going to ask for what rightfully belong to Yorubas, because that's what he promised them. That is what Tinubu and co campaign for. For those of you who know, I will lower this, I will lower that. Free education that is not free. Free education that is not quality. Dilapidated infrastructures, hospitals. You know, this weren't what Awolowo stood for. But they told us, for those of us who grew up when democracy returned to Nigeria in 1999, I was part of it. I wasn't too young to know what the lies they told us. That's how Tinubu became governor. That's how many other AD governors became governors. In 1999, they said they were pursuing Yoruba agenda, which one will restructure Nigeria, give resource control to Yoruba, will control our resources, right? Yorubas will determine the type of government we want. That was how AD came to be. That's how Tinubu became governor. So if you are a northerner watching me right now, opening your mouth, opening your gutter, dirty, stinking mouth, and trying to tell me now that Tinubu is actually, is for Nigeria. So therefore, okay, fine, you may tell me that his dream has changed. Has he told the Yorubas that his dream has changed? That he's no longer pursuing restructuring? That he's no longer pursuing community policing? That is no longer pursuing resource control. That is no longer pursuing constitution amendment that will give absolute power to Southwest Nigeria. Has he gone back to tell them? No, he hasn't. So you can twist the story. You can twist the narrative. Some of us know the genesis. And therefore, to what he said yesterday about Amotekun, he left the issue. And he was facing people he called, blind critics. People who just wanted him to talk. Nobody wanted you to talk. Only those your minions. Only those who have believed in his lies for so long. Only those who have believed in the fraud for so long are those who are one way or the other expecting to say, what are you going to say? What are you going to say about it? Some of us know what you say about it. So we're not expecting anything from Tinubu at all. Because we know where he stands. He's never, ever, ever for Yoruba land. Ever. So many people have tried, sometimes they said, if not for Tinubu, Yoruba land would have been blah, 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 blah. And I asked them, what is working in Yoruba land right now? Absolute nothing. Maybe your politicians are doing better. They are building new houses. Some of them are building new hotels, right? They are buying new cars, marrying new wives. And they are employing some of you as well as their sellers on Facebook, on social media, to tell the world how good, how blessed, how benevolent they are. But you do drive on your roads, don't you? Do you visit your hospitals in Yoruba land? Have you been to the schools? Have you been to the communities, the villages? Have you met the real Yorubas that are supposed to be living better because we've been in charge of our destiny for 20 years? For 20 years. For 20 solid years. They've not managed to, even ordinary special status that they said they wanted to fight for Lagos State. They blame PDP for 16 years for not recognizing Lagos State as a former federal capital, that Lagos deserve special federal government attention as a former federal capital of. Is that not what Tinubu has been telling you? Is that not what Tinubu has been campaigning against? He said 16 years. Obasanjo for 8 years couldn't give Lagos State special attention to rebuild the state. They call it mega city, but you and I know it's a mega slum. Lagos is a mega slum. You know it, yeah? For 16 years, PDP couldn't do it. But for 4 years, have you heard Tinubu raise it again? Have you heard Lai Mohammed talk about it again? Have you heard any of them, all these APC goons in Yoruba land, talk about special status for Lagos again? They dare not. For 16 years, they lied to Yoruba people. They lied to so many people who are always liberal. Anyway, Yorubas are liberal. Now, from what they promised, from what Tinubu and his gang promised Yoruba land since 1999 to date, they promised that they will fight for Yorubas to be able to protect ourselves. Community policing. For 20 years, Tinubu and his gang in Yoruba land never fought for that for once. But they were shouting in the media. They were shouting everywhere. This is how the country should be. True federalism. We need true federalism. Blah, 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 blah. People were listening to them. Oh, if these people should get to power, they will be great too. We should vote for Yoruba Party. Oh, we should vote for APC. Blah, 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 blah. Story. 16 years, they couldn't do it. They blamed people. 4 years now. 4 solid years now. Their lies, their pretense, their fake allegiance and their fake promises to Yoruba land is coming to light as all fraud. Look at what is going on. He couldn't even take position. He couldn't even come up straight and say, you know what? This is the best thing for Yoruba land. If there's any negotiation that needs to be done and whatever needs to be done, fine. So many people they've spoke up already. The clown, the chameleon, the Adon, the bat, is trying to be clever by half. He's coming after those who smoked him out of his bodilon hole. We smoked him out. He finally spoke and he said nothing. He wrote all this. He wrote about 15 paragraphs of a sentence or statement. He said absolutely nothing. And they want you to take him as a Yoruba leader. He's not a Yoruba leader. He's a traitor. If he's a Yoruba leader, right, he will take a stand and say, Amotekun has come to stay. Like others, we should give the support to these state governors. And I call on all Yorubas, home and abroad, to give the support, every support they can, to give it to Amotekun. We need to protect our land. How difficult is that? You don't expect him to say that. You know, I was reading some comments and some Buharidins and Buhari deterrents. Right? Disobedient fools and humble slaves. They were writing, as usual. Tinubu Jagaban. See, the man is so clever. He's very smart. He knows they want to trap him. Who is trying to trap him? He is already trapped. That is not the Tinubu of 16 years of PDP. In 2011, when the same chameleon, Tinubu, when he was flying the kite of this guy, Nuhu Ribadu. It was Nuhu Ribadu 2007. Then Atiku 2007. Nuhu Ribadu 2011. When he was flying the flag of Nuhu Ribadu in ACN as president, he was having a dinner with, he was having many dinners with Goodluck Jonathan in Abuja inside Aso Rock. Nuhu Ribadu was being flown about. They were shouting ACN. They were carrying broom and the rest of that all about. Nuhu Ribadu will be president. They were giving speeches upon speeches. They were promising things upon promises. Meanwhile, the chameleon is always on Air Force One. Jonathan's presidential jet flying him to Abuja back and forth. He met Jonathan 3 times before 2011 election. Meanwhile, Nuhu Ribadu is supposed to be their presidential candidate. Who doesn't know that? That's the chameleon. When Jonathan became president and PDP said, oh, Mulika Takonde will be the speaker, the same Tinubu and the rest of them, who did they go for? They went for Tambuwa. And he didn't hide it. He was meant to be fighting for Yoruba, Abi. He was meant to be fighting for Yoruba. Jonathan became president. PDP said Mulika Takonde will be the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Tinubu mobilized his own people, colluded with other PDP members, and they brought in Tambuwa, another northerner. In your physical eyes, he was right. He did the right thing. Then in 2015, he finally found a deal that will finally finish him anyway. Buhari and Miyetti Allah. he signed a deal with terrorists. Now he can't even speak up and say, my people need protection. We don't want another Benue. Fire incident that happened in Lagos State 3 days ago or 2 days ago. The one that happened in Egbeda. For the first time now. I was telling you days ago that there is no IDP camp in Yoruba land. There is no internally displaced person in Yoruba land. We don't have camp for people who have lost homes to different things in Yoruba land. Guess what? Yesterday, Lagos State government opened a camp for Egbeda fire incident victims. Vandals were vandalizing a pipeline along the route, right? Then houses, properties, 5 people got killed. Many others are in hospitals. Those who have lost their homes, they are now in IDP camps in Yoruba land, in Lagos State. Security of lives and property. And he can't even take a stand. He said he's smart. Smart about what? To be president. So Yorubas doesn't matter. Yorubas don't matter anymore to him. How smart can you be when your people are being killed? How can you say you are smart? Your people are being killed. What sort of smartness is that? Doesn't make any sense. It's just called living in denial. And only traitors will treat their people like that. And they're everywhere. It's not just Yoruba land. Even Buhari is a traitor to his own people in the north. He came to power, right? Gave all the control of the military to his own people that he believe he can trust. These people who are leading the Nigerian military, leading the Nigerian different security forces right now, they are not Northerners. They have villages, they have towns, they have a state. They are from the north. But in 4 years, more people are in IDP camp than they were in 2015. Buhari is a Northerner. He's a regional leader there. Is the north safe? Are the people living in the north safe or safer than they were in 2015? Of course not. You and I know that. And the record are there for you to show. You can't continue to live in denial. They are. I don't call them leaders. I call them dealers. The earliest you know that they are not for you, including that Tinubu, the Jaga bandit of Lagos. And if you don't take the veil of that tribal veil, the tribal veil that is covering your face, the religious veil that is covering your face, you will continue to shadow box and you will continue to die in darkness. For those who don't care, to take this serious. If you are still covered by that, your religious and your religious, your tribal, your political veil, you will die. I say it. What do you call it? I keep saying that anyway, that today's victims were yesterday's survivors. They survived the horror of yesterday. But today, they are gone. They won't make it to tomorrow. Those of you who are going to survive today, you will be victims of tomorrow. If you survive that, you will be a victim of another. And that is how endangered you are. And they said, let's talk about security. Let's protect our land. Let's make our people feel safe. The North is not safe. Miyetti Allah is not worried. Have you ever heard the Miyetti Allah condemn Boko Haram? Since you have been reading about Miyetti Allah, have you seen them condemn Boko Haram? Have you seen Miyetti Allah condemn the killings, the ransacking of villages by bandits and by Fulani herdsmen? Have you ever seen them condemn them anywhere? Rather, when Boko Haram kill people, slaughter them, shoot them at the back of their head, those coward terrorists, when they are finally caught, Buhari will never let them see court. They don't go to court. Are you listening? Boko Haram, bandits, Fulani herdsmen that are killing people in the north, kidnapping people in the north. Unsafe. The north is unsafe. As you and I, as we are talking right now, the north is not safe. Have you ever seen Miyetti Allah condemn them. Now, imagine the distance from Borno, Yobe, Adamawa, Taraba, Benue, and start coming down. Imagine the distance from that place to Abeokuta in Ogun State. Imagine the distance. And some lunatics who think because Nigeria is already a messed up place, they can tell us how threatened they are. That 1,500 kilometers away from where security of Nigeria has been like dead. Borno, where they are killing people. Maiduguri. Someone is worried that people living 1,500 kilometers away are preparing themselves, trying to protect themselves so that they don't want to be like Borno and Maiduguri. And you are worried. You are telling us that will break Nigeria. But Boko Haram killing, ransacking your villages, bandits killing your emirs, killing your chief head, kidnapping your children and women, right? Ransacking and destroying their villages. Those ones won't divide Nigeria. But those who are living 1,500 kilometers away, that will take you about a day or two to travel to reach, now preparing that they don't want to be like you. Those ones are the threat to national security. And Tinubu came out to say negotiation will be the issue. Is he mad? Is he mad? It's a common sense thing. I'm asking you, does that make any sense to you? It doesn't make any sense to me. And I don't think it should make any sense to anyone. As a Yoruba leader, they called him. If he is not a traitor, you will stand with your people. Population of Yoruba land by the last census, if it is anything to go by, had 10 years to it, which is expected to be a population growth of at least 2-3%. Well, Yorubas are of over 40 million people in Nigeria. Over 40 million people. Who is he afraid of? So Tinubu, who live with those 40-50 million people, is afraid to say the truth in their defense, even though they say he's their leader. He finds it difficult. He's trying to act clever from telling them, those who are living 1,000, 2,000 kilometers away, that listen, the security of this land is paramount and I am standing with my people. And you are telling me he's clever. He's a traitor. A complete traitor. The same way Buhari is a traitor to the north. You control the army. You control the air force. You control the navy. You control the DSS. You control the police. I think you control the civil defense. The only thing you don't control in security of Nigeria right now is the Amotekun. You control everything. You know where all Nigeria weapons are. You know those who are in charge of all Nigeria weapons. You know what Nigeria has in Amori. You know the location of the Boko Haram. You know the locations of the bandits. You have the resources to crush them. It's taking you over 4 years now. Are those people not traitor? If you are a northerner watching me right now, that's what the question you should ask yourself. You control everything. Everything. You control the presidency. If na money you need, any denomination, foreign currency, any denomination, euros, pounds, dollars, your president can order it with immediate effect within hours. That's how powerful you believe you are. Yet, the north is not safe. More IDP camps opened. You know, for controlling all of this, you should be closing up IDP camps now, by now. Yes, people should be returning back to their homes. People should be returning back to their villages, right? Because you control all of these things. You remember when you arrested the Boko Haram flag and Boko Haram Quran, Alhaji Shekau flag and Quran, and you told us that that was a ground zero in Sambisa. Do you remember that? You told us you've crushed them. Technically defeated Boko Haram. We know they are not defeated. In Maiduguri right now, People are sleeping with one eye closed. Some people are even sleeping with two eyes opened because there's no point in closing your eyes except if you want to die. You know what is going on in Maiduguri? In Katsina, Buhari state, Katsina, where Masari is the governor, they kidnapped the village head, in-law of Buhari in Daura. They kidnapped him. When Buhari is the president, he controls all the power. As a northerner, I am telling you now, if I tell you Buhari is a traitor to you, you shouldn't question it. Or you will question me. As long as you still have that your religion, tribal, and political veil covering your eyes. You can hear me, but you can't see through what I'm saying. So you can question me. You're free to do that. But you are a northerner. Is the not safe right now? They kidnapped Buhari's village head of Daura. They kidnapped him. They paid ransom to free him. Bandits attacked Daura. People from Daura migrated. They ran away from Nigeria. They ran to Cameroon. They are living in IDP camp in Cameroon right now. Maybe you didn't know. I am reminding you. Or maybe you have forgotten. I am reminding you. That is leadership failure. With all the power, with all the resources, Buhari can protect you. Kaduna Abuja Expressway, you can travel there now in peace. Damaturu Maiduguri Expressway, you can travel there in peace. And so many other roads in the north right now. I am saying the truth and you know it. So if Buhari can protect, is he not a traitor? If Tinubu can stand up for the Southwest on security, is he not a traitor? Who calls him a leader? Let's go to the East. There are others there too. They call themselves regional leaders. I don't want to mention names, but you know them by the names. Regional leaders. They became prominent because they are shouting, Igbo, Igbo, I'm Igbo leader, I'm Igbo this, I'm Igbo that. Or, oh, Igbos have been marginalized there, Igbos have been marginalized there. But when you ask them, why is it so difficult for you to come together and call the bluff of the center, all your 5 governors, come together and tell the center to go to hell? We want to open our own seaports. We want to construct our own road. We will no longer let you take any money from us anymore. The same way, Nnamdi Kanu requested for this. Do you know those who stood against Nnamdi Kanu? The same people who have been telling us in the political scene, from different political discussion, from time immemorial, how Igbos have been marginalized. The same people are those who mobilized against Nnamdi Kanu. He's asking for Biafra. They don't want Biafra. They just want to have the part of the share. I mean, they want to have the share of the national cake. But they can't have it if they don't have an agenda. Just like the Yorubas telling their Yoruba dealers, telling their own people too, that Yorubas need to do restructuring. Yorubas need to do resource control. Yorubas need to enforce true federalism. Yorubas will break up out of Nigeria if Yorubas are not blah, 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 blah. But the moment they dip their hand in the cookie jar, and the moment they join the dining table, they quickly maintain table manners. The agenda is what everyone is trying to push in there. Buhari was like, the North has been marginalized. Jonathan took their turn. Oh, the Norths are angry. They needed a leader from the North. They want to be in power. So he swindled them. They gave him the control. Today, the North is more poorer. The North is more unsafe under him. So the same thing is happening in the East. The Easterners are marginalized. When you listen to the eloquent presentations of so many Igbo leaders who have one way or the other become ministers, senators, former governors, essay to former president, they love talking about how much they understand the politics. and how much they believe Igbos are being marginalized. Nnamdi Kanu came out and said, let's put a stop to this mess. There's no point in negotiating with them anymore. Let us have our own country. If we have our own country, then none of them will marginalize Igbos again. Do you know those who rose against Nnamdi Kanu? The same people who have been telling us that Igbos are marginalized. Igbo leaders, Igbo past leaders, Igbo present leaders, and Igbo future leaders, those who want to lead after these ones are gone. They called for Operation Python dance because to them, Nnamdi Kanu is painting a new picture that doesn't include them. And they have to be included because it's about what they can get for themselves. And if they are not going to be part of it, Nnamdi Kanu will have to go. You know the story. They killed their own people just to continue the charade, to continue the lies, to continue to make people believe that we are fighting for you. Only us can fight for you. But whenever they were called, stand up, speak out against what is going on against your people, then they will start speaking grammar. Then they will start playing with words. They will start trying to be clever by half. They will say, in Nigeria of today, as I'm not just an Igbo leader, I am known all over Nigeria. I am known. I have friends in Yoruba land. I have friends in the north. I have to watch what I say. What the fuck are you? Nigeria leader or your people's leader? That's the question you should be asking before you start defending them. That's why I won't defend Tinubu. Because it's never fought for anything in Yoruba land. Ever. That's always been what works for him. He's a traitor. Just like let me not use every, just like many, these regional political dealers. Many of you, yes, they are no leaders. If you are leaders, Nigeria is not a rocket science. It is either true federalism or break up the country. Why are you scared? You are a northerner. Let me even start with you. Let's say you are a northerner right now. What do you want in life that is different from what a southerner wants? Let's say you are a northern Muslim. What do you want in life that you think is so different from what a southern Christian wants? Let me help you. We all want the same thing. You want to live in peace. You want to be able, right, to go out and come back in safely. You want to be able to provide. If you have family, you want to be able to provide for your family. And you also want to be able to feel safe. Also, you also want to be able to explore your potentials. You want to explore and become whatever you want to become legitimately. Nothing much. All of this you can have all of this without having to kill or hate any other person for it. Without having to add tribal religion and what have you to it. And when these things are becoming so luxurious, so costly that you only dream about them. When you begin to dream about security, when was the last time I was able to feed my family? When was the last time I was actually able to get a good medical care? So when you begin to care about those, then you begin to ask questions about those who have been lying to you that you are living in an Eldorado. Because that's what you are living on, in a bubble. Nigeria is going to be great. Nigeria go better, until my father died. Nigeria go better, my mother died. They both didn't see better Nigeria. And I know many of you as well who have lost loved ones in the recent past. You realize that when they were alive, when they were active, when they were like us, hoping that things will be better, they believe Nigeria go better. But they are dead now. You and I are still talking about a rotten Nigeria. You know what that means? It's because you are not questioning what you believe in, what you have learned. So, there is no point in making up stories to back the likes of all these criminals, opportunists that you call the political dealers or political leaders in Yoruba land. You either stand here or you don't stand with us at all. As it is right now, Tinubu is not standing with Yorubas. You can go and recreate what it is trying to say. We know many of you, the obedient fools, the humbled slaves, the sophisticated morons. You remember what they call you? And recently, the the primitive lots. You are those, the reason why that dirty thing called Alazan or whatever it's called, that Miyeti Allah thug. You are the reason why he was able to open his mouth to say Yorubas are primitive, despite your alleged education. So don't try to sugarcoat what Tinubu said. Many of us can read, and we have read this, and we have digested it. He is neither here nor there. And as a leader that many of you want to tag him, he is nothing. With his position recently, he is absolute nothing but a traitor to Yoruba land and to Yoruba people. And he should be treated as one. And it will get there. It's getting there, by the way. 2023 will be the last the last stroke that will break the camel's back for Tinubu if he continue to undermine Yorubas. Our security is very paramount. I'm saying this because fine, I don't live in Nigeria right now. But the fear that what if I travel to my homeland and I don't know how worse the security situation is going to be, and I get kidnapped or even killed, or found myself in a situation where I have to beg for my life. So I have sat down many times and I've thought about this, and I'm like, how is it going to be? Who am I going to call? At that point, that you have to make a decision between life and death. What if I find myself in that situation? What if I ignore? At least I don't live in Nigeria. So, what if I find myself in Nigeria in 5 years or in 2 years or in a month time, and you all have to start posting, free Mayegun, free Mayegun. God, please bring Mayegun back. Jesus, please help Mayegun. Please, God, save Mayegun. When indeed, we can all come together to prevent such by speaking up, by calling on those who are responsible for our security to stand up, do the right thing. Everyone united, do the right thing. Save us. Don't make us victims before you do the right thing. The first time Tinubu denied Yoruba, again, recently, was when Mrs. Arakunrin, the daughter to Papa Shoroti, was killed in Ore. Tinubu visited him. The whole news was that, the Fulani herdsmen killed her. It was a hired assassin that killed her. It was a robbery, blah, 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 blah. Everyone, was making up a story. But eventually we know that she was killed by the Fulani herdsmen operating along that Benin Ore road. Tinubu traveled to Ondo State. And when the press stopped him to ask for his view about the insecurity in Yoruba land, Tinubu defended the security provided by Buhari. The security provided by Buhari, the security that killed Arakunrin. And Tinubu, when they said about, we heard that she was shot and killed by the Fulani herdsmen, Tinubu said, where are the cows? That's exactly what Tinubu is asking us now. That we need to bring reasons. We need to bring proofs to show that, indeed, Amotekun should not be declared illegal. Tinubu is more concerned about people who are calling him out than him taking a position to say, you know what? Let's be realistic. You cannot declare Amotekun illegal. Amotekun is not illegal, and every other legal framework that should be put in place, just like many other reasonable, responsible, genuine Yoruba sons and daughters, Yoruba Omoluwabis. Not this traitor. He is a traitor, and he is a political opportunist. His time will come. Let me be honest with you. His time will come, and there will be a time when you will look back and you will never see any traces of whatever Tinubu represents again in Yoruba land. That time is coming, and it is going to come. You see, politics in Yoruba land now is nothing. It's nothing to write home about. Now, thugs, killers, cultists, armed criminals are now political machineries for this type of politics that Tinubu has brought to Yoruba land. Today, MC Oluomo has his own army, and he moves about Yoruba land with so much steel and gusto that you will think he is actually a general himself in the army, in the Yoruba army. If there is election in Ekiti State, MC Oluomo will load all the downfalls they can get in Lagos State, and in convoy, they will be led by the Nigerian DSS or Nigerian Security Police and the rest of them. They will be led straight to Ekiti State. They were not registered in Ekiti State to vote. They are not in any way playing any political role, for INEC or for government in Ekiti State, but they have moved into Ekiti State to provide security for those who are going to rig the election for APC. That is the type of politics that Tinubu has brought to Yoruba land and sustained over time. And this is the backward, this is the type of politics that has brought so much backwardness to Yoruba land that today, all you need to be relevant is just to be a criminal. And you will see responsible people who are like, if you see so many people who have associated with Tinubu himself, gentlemen, people who are like supposed to be responsible people who have associated with Tinubu to gain political offices, they ended up being associated with these thugs. And some of them had to pick up this habit of thuggery too, because you need to be a thug to survive around him. You just need to. And you must be ready to provide protections for all the political criminals that are bearing the flag and the ID card of APC in Yoruba land. That is the politics that Tinubu has brought to Yoruba land and sustained. The politics where his gang is protected army of thugs can invade the polling center, disrupt the election, and no one will be arrested for it. And if anyone should get arrested for it, you will be released immediately, even if you kill a police officer during the process. That's how powerful his type of politics of backwardness is in Yoruba land. In Ogun State now, before now, Amotekun was governor of Ogun State. And he has his own talk. Forgot his name right now. For those who are from Ogun State, you will know him. This guy from Abeokuta. Dapo Abiodun is governor of Ogun State right now. He has his own shift talk too. Efele. When Benga Daniel was in government as well, we had Aweda, we had Efele, thugs being promoted, being given this special treatment, being given so much wealth to play about simply because they are the armed wing of their political careers. That is the politics they brought to Yoruba land. Now, if I want to join politics now, right? If I want to join politics in Yoruba land, I have to be prepared to raise an army of thugs or ready to pay those existing army who are ready to do my bidding. That is the type of politics Tinubu has brought to Yoruba land and sustained. That is not the politics that we should have in Yoruba land. That is not the politics that you should be proud of. The politics that says you have to go somewhere to prostrate to someone who is then going to then hand over your picture to some thugs, assassins, criminals, ardent criminals, who work for him to say he is our guy, protect him. And then you suddenly feel this powerful multitude following you. You are being protected by criminals because you want a political office. That is the politics of Tinubu in Yoruba land. How can you change that? How can you pretend that that is not what it is? So his time will come. His own time will come. Tinubu is a traitor. And no one should sugarcoat it. No elder, no youth should sugarcoat it. If you are a Buhari Din or a Buhari Didiri, a Buhari Dinotu or a Buhari Dijatu, Ngozi Ari or Buhari Shuku, a Mumu Madu, Bele lecturer or a Mumu lecturer, maybe you are obedient fool, ombudsman slave, or a Buhari idiot. Whoever you are, you may disagree. I understand. But you cannot deny the existence of this. This is not politics. I was in Nigeria in December, about a year ago, yeah. And I was in Ogun State. I was in Lagos State. And I was like, apart from you trying to make yourself feel like, well, I am not living in the village where I can count cars. I live in the city where I'm more or less like living in a shanty, or I'm in Lagos. Except for that, you and I know that Lagos is not a livable city. Let me be honest with you. I was in Ogun State. It was more or less like, I've never been to Somalia. I've never been to Liberia, but I've seen pictures, videos of after war in Libya. In Libya. In fact, Libya is beautiful than Ogun State, even after war. I've seen videos of Somalia. I've seen videos of Liberia after war. That's exactly what Ogun State looked like to me. Meanwhile, I was just gone for maybe about 6-7 years. And I was there. And I was like, but there are these guys on Facebook. Now I think I understand why. They live through these debris. They live through these chanties. They live through these dilapidated, infrastructures. So whenever they see a construction going on in a place, maybe the government is trying to do their fake road project, they are so ecstatic. They are so happy. They're like, wow, if they finish that road, it's just going to be like express. So I then understood why. And when you tell them that, what happened to education? What happened to healthcare? They will tell you, the governor is trying. The government is trying. Why didn't they do it before now? I was like, well, I'm sorry. It's not because I want to use the hospital. It's not because I want to use your schools. Glad I'm able to pay for what Nigeria asked for private education for my kids back there in Nigeria. So I can afford that. So I'm not affected by most of what is happening to you. But if you think, well, there's no point, the moment they've managed to start constructing one road that they either won't complete or is already over bloated budget. If you're happy with it, fine, I'll just let it go. So for 20 years, Yoruba land became worse under Yoruba leaders of different type, and you cannot deny that. I was in Ibadan too. Ibadan, if you drive from Gate, or if you drive from Agodi, from governor's office, down to Gate, then from Gate down to Iwo Road. Well, it was more or less like there was a road construction ongoing at the time, but come on, everywhere looks so dirty. So dirty. Then you ask yourself, there is government, there are people, right? The government exists for the people. But look at us, look at how we are living. Look at us, 20 solid years. Rather than for Yoruba land to be great, it is the Yoruba politicians that are becoming great through the greed and selfishness. And through their greed and their selfishness, they've made it difficult for them to ask for what rightfully belong to them. Yoruba leaders won't go to Abuja and tell Ooni of Ife will not go to Abuja now and tell Buhari that Mr. President, Yorubas want a restructuring. And I need your support on this. If Yorubas come in and present this, will you give us your support? I'm speaking for Yoruba land now. Or Alaafin of Oyo will not go to Abuja and tell Buhari face to face that Mr. President, Yorubas need restructuring. Yoruba need community policing. Yorubas, we need resource control. And we are going to delegate a team from Yoruba land to make this demand and have it included in the constitution of the country. We want to have this. Alaafin of Oyo will not go to Buhari and say that. Rather, he's likely going to go there to praise Buhari, ask him out for a favor, ask him for something that is more personal, because that's what they do. Something more personal. Then gossip about those who don't like the president. Talk about those who love him. Make him feel good. Then go out of the villa until the next time you will have the opportunity of seeing him again. Yoruba governors will not go together and say, we want to see Mr. President. Good morning, Mr. President. We have a proposal from the Yoruba people that we represent. Yorubas want restructuring. Yorubas want resource control. Yorubas want to take over of their air, water, land, every resources in Yoruba land. And Yorubas want to demand for true federalism that gives us the right to make laws on so and so for our people. We want to protect ourselves. Yoruba governors will not go and do it. I'm glad that some of them are beginning to. Maybe with the Amotekun, they are beginning to. But where does Tinubu stand? He is a traitor. Don't make up story for him. Don't try to sugarcoat it. He is a complete traitor. He should take a stand. People should know where he is. He wants to be president of Nigeria because Nigeria is more important to him now than Yoruba land. Yoruba land made him. He became a senator representing Yoruba land. He became a governor representing a Yoruba state. He became the national APC leader because he led his own political party from Yoruba land into the allegiance. He became prominent because he said he's a Yoruba leader. Not because he said he's a Nigeria leader. And if he's moving away from that stylishly, trying to tell us now that he loves Nigeria, in what he wrote in that trash that he called statement that he released yesterday, he even stated it there. I love this country. I love the people of this country. A typical politician. No, you don't, Tinubu. You don't love the people of the country. You don't love Nigeria. You love yourself. That's what happened. You don't love anybody. You start loving people by showing that you are on their side. You cannot say what will protect them is illegal. Meanwhile, you also support them to create something to protect themselves. You are a con man. And for those who are believing in you, you are all rogues. And that's what we'll call you as a Yoruba man. I'm a Yoruba man. And let me define that for you. If you are just joining me as well. In Yoruba land, we don't respect thieves until 1980. Before that time, if you are a thief, you will be ostracized from the community. You will be excommunicated from the community. People will be running away from you because they don't want you. If you are a criminal, let me tell you this. In Yoruba land, as liberal as we are, we respect women so much, right? Before 80s, before the children of fire, the children of perdition, they started coming to this world, and then we know where we are today. Tinubu is now their leader. So we respect our women so much that if you are caught to rape any woman, you will be put to death in Yoruba land. You will be put to death if you rape any woman, force a woman. That's how much we try to protect the dignity of a woman. And if you are a thief, a smuggler, or any criminal activity, and you are known, you will be excommunicated. Many of these people always live far away from people. They always have their own their own space. That if you cross that line, if you, who is not from that kind of a lineage of criminals, if you cross that line to that side, people will even be like, you have destroyed your life. Why did you go to so person's house? Do you not know that they are criminals? Do you not know that they do this? Do you not know that they do that? That's who we are in Yoruba land. We don't praise criminals. Until 80s, when the children we trained with free education, Awolowo, the children we gave the best of the best to, the children we told about the future, the children Yoruba elders of that time gave the future to, when they come of age, they became rogues. And what happened? We started seeing drug dealers representing the people in Yoruba land. We started seeing kidnappers. We started seeing fraudsters. We started seeing certificate forgers. We started seeing criminals becoming honorable men, becoming kings, becoming chiefs in Yoruba land. And when you talk, they will say, my friend, maybe God has changed him. Just mind your business. Because that was the moment poverty started, crippling into Yoruba land properly, where people now began to live beyond their means. So when they started manipulating this whole thing, every wrong thing became normal thing. So they now target us as long as you are not caught criminal. That is how the likes of Tinubu became prominent. That is why the likes of Tinubu is now a role model for so many people, because everything that is wrong is wrong. In Yoruba land, they say, if a thief is dressed in a gold loin, right, wears a gold crown, a golden crown, put on all these jewelries and all of that, shining, looking elegant and royal. In Yoruba land, a thief is a thief. And if you look around, our thieves are known. While the Yoruba people are poorer, while communities have no means of access to healthcare, good education or good road, good infrastructural facilities to help them grow, while unemployment spread across the land in Yoruba land, while abject poverty becomes household friends of so many households in Yoruba land today, our politicians are living in affluence. They are living in wealth. They are living in so much opulence. They are those who are living better. The people they represent are living in squalor. And that is the truth. If you doubt me, go and read some of those who have probably contacted you to help them pay school fees, help them pay hospital bills, help them pay house rent. You will realize that they are the young people who are at their own productive ages right now, the ages where they should be sort of exploring their different potentials to become greater in life. But the opportunity in Yoruba land has been so limited for them that it has become owoju egun to succeed. It now becomes 1 out of 1,000. So you see this guy, young guy, is living better. He just finished school, found a job, found a job somewhere, getting paid nice. He's got his family, just got married. He's living fine. When you see a guy like that, and you see his friends around him, my story will make sense to you, because you will realize that it is just 1 out of 1,000. As he's managed to stand aloof a bit, so many of his peers of his age, they are looking at him like, I wish we finished school together. We finished school together. He's lucky, his uncle work in CBN. That one just work it out for him. He just got a job in First Bank. Before 6 months, they give him promotion. That is the world that they have created in Yoruba land. You may not have told yourself this. I am telling you now. Limited opportunity. Then you see people asking for help for things they can normally take care of if everything was right. If the leadership in Yoruba land have this foresight of creating real wealth and development in Yoruba land. But they never did. They will never do it. Okay? And when someone said Nigeria or Nigerian leaders are not fighting poverty, both the past and the present Nigerian leaders, they are not fighting poverty. They are only managing poverty. So in Yoruba land, excuse me, Tinubu and co, they were only, or let me even say, even up to now, they are only managing poverty in Yoruba land. That is why you see them sharing bag of rice, sharing life chicken, sharing, what do you call it, 500 naira, 1,000 naira, trying to, instead of them to build hospitals, they will say they are doing health mission. So old people should come out, come and take free eye test, come and take free eye glasses, come and take this. They do that whenever election is coming. So they say, we just bought Okada, 500 Okada for youth. That senator, God will bless him. He just gave out, since he became senator now, he's distributed over 500 Okada to graduates. Graduates are collecting Okadas from senators who promise to create environment that will create job for them, right? They say, that senator is just, So what they are doing, they say, we have shared the grinding machine to women. We have shared the plastic bowl to women. They just gave some villagers, they just gave them bicycle. We are going to give them a free, we're going to give farmers free fertilizers. You know what they are doing? They are managing poverty. They are not fighting poverty. And that's what we have in Yoruba land. They are managing poverty. They'll tell you, we will give this to you. We just give, what do you call it? We just built borehole. I have built over 200 boreholes in my constituency. When you can actually build a proper water system that's going to serve the whole community and it will be stable, not borehole. So you know what they are doing? They are managing poverty. They are not fighting poverty. Tinubu and co in Yoruba land, that's what they have been doing for long. And they have failed. But if you are living in denial, if you are one of those who are living in denial, telling yourself that it's not that bad, you don't know what you're talking about, my ego. My friend, shut up. And stop asking us to come back and do it for you. That's some bullshit. You cannot be defending Tinubu or believing that Tinubu is fighting for you. Tinubu cares for you. He is your leader. He has sense. Yet, you are living in squalor. You are living in poverty that you love to deny. You know that kind of denial that makes you, especially if you are living in Lagos, you feel like, my friend, because when you get small change, life day Lagos, enjoy the life. But not anymore. You can get kidnapped by the SARS. And you know it. You know what I'm talking about. So if you pay your way, if SARS stop you and you give them money and you go away. And Mayego is talking about SARS being brutal. How Lagos is more or less like a mega slum instead of a mega city. And you become angry because you don't want to live the truth. You don't want to tell the truth. You saw them, you paid them, they let you go. They come to your house, raid your house. You call someone, that person called them, they leave you. You are okay. Then Nigeria is fine. Mayego, you don't know what you are talking about. Shut up. You shut up your mouth. You don't know what you are talking about. So because someone managed to get you out, or so you managed to call someone who managed to get you out, that then invalidates the fact that what shouldn't happen to you in the first place is happening to you, and that makes the place a mega slum, not a mega city. What's your denial? What's your denial? One asks me, what's the way forward? Way forward is not far-fetched. Let Amotekun stay. That one is a decision taken already. It cannot be reversed. The second thing is that, well, I have been saying it many times for those who care to listen. And if you care to listen as well, I will say it again. The way forward is very simple. I've not spoke about my my brother Omoyele Sowore in a while, and it's for a reason. Yes, it's for a reason because he's pursuing something, and I want to make sure that that thing works first before we unleash the full throttle on them in Nigeria generally. And that is why I don't really say much on that. But when you ask me what is the way forward, I ask myself too. Number one, I've said it. We know what will make Nigeria last. And we know what will keep Nigeria if they want Nigeria to be, if they want Nigeria to exist longer than it is right now. Right? It's very simple. Restructure the country. Practice true federalism. Trash that trashy constitution they call that constitution. Write a new constitution that allows for referendum. Write a new constitution that allows for a restructured true federalism in Nigeria. A constitution that allows the Yorubas to practice the type of government they want. And let everyone, if you are living in Yoruba land, it's fine. Okay? You can be an Igbo man, you can be a Yoruba, Hausa or Fulani woman living in Yoruba land. You are welcome. Everyone is welcome. Okay? But when it comes to the government of Yoruba land, how we raise our money, how we govern the land, how we secure the land, and the economy of the land will be determined only by those who live in Yoruba land, not by those who live in Abuja, or by those who live in Mina, or by those who live in E-top mansion in Mina, yes, or E-top mansion in Abeokuta, or wherever any other mansion they put anywhere in Nigeria. So, if they want Nigeria to continue, we can share the name, just like Scotland, Wales, England, and the Northern Ireland. They are sharing the name United Kingdom. But in the United Kingdom unwritten constitution, these guys can ask for referendum anytime. So we need a new constitution in Yoruba land. I don't see this character of politicians do that for us. I don't see them give us that. That is where Sowore will come in. But I don't want to hammer much on that yet. Okay? So the way forward is number one, stop registering to vote in Nigeria. It's a waste of time. And don't let anybody deceive you anymore. I have been through it. I have, I started a political party in Nigeria with so many other people from my own state, Ogun State, right? We encourage people to join the political party. We secured the secretariat in 16 out of the 20 local governments in Ogun State. We got people elected into the local government ESCOs as party managers, right? We went into 2019 election with candidates representing every elective position, available position in Ogun State. 40 elective positions in Ogun State, from governor to senators to reps to House of Assembly members. We presented them to INEC. They got cleared by the security agency in Nigeria. We were ready to face the election. We encourage people to register to vote because we will come in and change the system to what we believe it should be. I invested my money. I invested my time. I invested everything. And I lost a lot, by the way. So, however, do you know what happened? During the election, a day before the election, my own party members who have been with us for over 2 years since we started, right? Party members who are supposed to be party representatives, they flung our own, agent card. You know, they were supposed to be given agent party card or party agent card, whatever they call it. So which will identify them as representative of our political party at the polling unit, so that whoever voted for us, they will be there to count our vote. The night before the election, because we couldn't afford to raise 170 million naira. 170 million naira to pay about 5,000, about 5,000 party agents, 5,000 naira, so that they will go and represent us and stay and monitor our vote. We have been together for 2 years. They call themselves the party agents, party leaders, party this. Young guys, young boys, young ladies, and some older women too. We did our best in Ogun State, but it was all ruse. It was all fake from the same people that we thought we were doing it for. You know what happened? A night before the election, we lost all our party representatives, our party agents. So which means we will never have any representative at any polling unit at all across the state. So we will easily be rigged out anyway. So fine. The following morning, those who rejected our money, who rejected our party agent flag, tag, they began mobilizing for APC, PDP. They began mobilizing our own party members as our own party representatives, since we couldn't make up or give them money. The following month, on the day of election, our own party representatives were mobilizing, calling our own party members to come and vote for PDP, to come and vote for APC on the day of election. 2 years journey. I've been there. I tell you, so you don't think Mayego is just on Facebook making mouth, shouting and all of that. I have gone far. So our people sold their votes on the day of election, 200 naira, 500 naira in Ogun State. And at the end of the day, APC won. We didn't have money to share. So you can abuse us, you can attack us, you can call us names. So that is why when you come on my page to open your mouth, just because you want to sound like you're also intelligent or something, why don't you come down here and do it? Why don't you come down to Nigeria and join and change these things? I was in Nigeria. I spent my money. People spend their money. We mobilized. We did all we could to let people know. We spread our message. It wasn't a joke. But at the end of the day, the people sold their vote for 200 naira on the day of election. So I am encouraging you now, do not join them in registering to vote anywhere until there is a true electoral reform that one allows for electronic voting. And then, even before then, we want to know the number of people in Nigeria. Let's even know how many of us. This story, you see, this story of the North more than the South, I have never seen anywhere desert. People live more in desert than arable land and southern part of the country. I've never seen any story like that, except in Nigeria. So we need to know the number of people who are genuinely Nigerians. Give us census, genuine. Give us electoral reform and change that constitution. If they are not going to do all of that at once, let's start with census and then followed by electoral reform. Okay? So if you do electoral reform, and then you allow a constitutional amendment, even if you're not going to trash the entire constitution, amend the constitution that allows for referendum. Some of us will start political parties based on referendum for Yoruba land. Some of us will start political parties from abroad here, mobilize it, fund it, if we know that there is a referendum in our constitution. We will campaign in Yoruba land. we'll tell the Yoruba people why they have to reject the greedy scums, the greedy dealers they call leaders like Tinubu and the rest of them. But if they are not going to do any of that, my brothers and sisters, let us just continue to lash at them until they will make the mistake and do the right thing. So when Showore is finally ready for us, that will be the journey to travel. Are you with me? I am not interested in one Nigeria because it's a fake thing. It's a lie. If I tell you I'm interested in one Nigeria, it's because I want to go and chop there too. They don't have what I can eat. If you eat Nigeria, anything in Nigeria, you will purge. So if you have conscience, you won't even desire it because it's a filthy place to get into. And you have to be so smart in lying. You have to be so artless in denying things that are obvious. And I'm not that kind of a person. I am not someone who can keep your secret for too long, especially if you are hurting people. Do you know that? So that is why someone like me I'm not even looking forward to it. Right? So this one won't give us until they make a mistake like the one we have in Amotekun right now. Web them flame up. Web them, make it burn. We'll make the flame go higher. As much as they are trying to suppress it, we will continue to add fuel. Amotekun must stay. That should be your own priority. Because they may never believe that the Yorubas will accept this wholeheartedly. Have you seen the rally? Have you seen the solidarity rally across Yoruba land? Yorubas want it. They want this. So the politicians are making a decision for the first time that the entire people seems to be in agreement with. Even if not a mistake, this is a right mistake. The same way they will likely mistakenly put referendum in the constitution. Because until we have control, until we have people who can actually do it, we just have to continue to mount pressure on these criminals so that they can continue to make the right mistakes. So they can make mistake possibly to give us electoral reform, genuine one. They may make a mistake to start demanding for census, number of people living in Nigeria. We want to know them. This 200 million bullshit is nonsense. People are making up all these figures. Nigeria is not up to 200 million. And if they say we are 200 million, do censor. Correct one. Use satellite image to cover Nigeria, to expose lies. And that's one thing about it. If Nigerian government should mistakenly declare that they want to do censor now, some of us will use every resources at our disposal to get the accurate figure, the accurate censor of Nigeria. You know why? There will be so many interested parties all over the world that are going to use satellite images to capture Nigeria. They have it now. Some of them have the real picture, the real population of Nigeria, the real numbers of houses in Nigeria, destroyed and existing. So that moment, all we have to do is to dig them out. We'll give you correct figure. Once we have that in our hand, and we know the number of the Yorubas who are between the ages of 0 to 10, Yorubas who are between the ages of 11 to 25, Yorubas who are between the ages of 11 to 25, Yorubas who are between the ages of 25 to 35, or Yorubas who are from 10 years old to 45 years old. We will know the population. We will know those to target. And people like us, me, Mayegun, I will join others to start a Yoruba political party in Yoruba land whose only purpose at that point is to break away Yoruba from Nigeria. You will be shocked. Some of you will be shocked because you will be shocked that Yorubas will accept it. You see Amotekun. You see that Amotekun. If anyone should start a political party right now, anyone with good ideology should start any political party in Yoruba land right now, that promises Yoruba people that they will get this, they will get that. And in fact, they are not just going to get Amotekun. We are going to get our own secret police in Yoruba land that will be working on the ground to discover every crime that is being perpetrated in Yoruba land. If an organized people with money come together, we will dethrone Tinubu before you know it. And that's what I'm trying to say. But people like us will not fight blindly. I want something that they would have already anchored themselves. You know what I mean? Because you can't put referendum in our constitution and then arrest me for treason if I'm asking people to vote to leave Nigeria. Do you know what I mean now? So one day they will make mistake. put referendum in Nigerian constitution, make mistake, do Nigerian censor, and people like us who can work with data, right? People like us who can work with data very well. We will look at where we will raise the army. We will look at the number of intelligent people that we are going to target in Yoruba land. We will know where they are. And then we will build our cell across Yoruba land. Declare a political party that's going to dethrone all these outdated political dealers. It is possible. Until we see the sign, don't join them in wasting your time in registering for any election. And don't let anybody, don't let anybody twink you. Don't let anybody make you feel like, if you don't vote, these people continue to vote for themselves. Yes, they will continue to vote for themselves. They have the wherewithal. They have the resources. They have everything to make sure that they continue to vote for themselves. And it is planned. It's not APC. Maybe it's going to be PDP. It's not PDP. It's going to be APC. They've worked it that way that even if you vote for a Accord party, if you vote for someone and say, we don't want PDP, we don't want APC, we are voting for a Accord party, it will shock you that those who are sponsoring him in Accord party, they are from PDP and APC too. And the moment you give him that your vote, you think you are giving to him, he will cross to either party. He can cross to APC. He can cross to PDP. He will give a no fuck about you that decided to shun PDP, shun APC in the first place. So that's how terrible it is. People like us will no longer be participating in that. I've said it. So Ore may be watching me as well, which is something I love passing to him as well. I said, listen, we are no longer participating in any election. There are campaigns that can be started towards 2023, where you can demand for certain things that if they mistakenly grant them, right, that will just be our own, our own springboard into coming for them. We have AAC already. AAC is a Nigerian party with so many people from across the country. That can be a revolutionary party for those who seek genuine change from this rot. I'm not talking about those who are pretending, those who will tell you that Shore is arrogant, Shore doesn't do this, or Shore need to apologize to that. No, I'm not talking about those ones. I'm talking about people who really want things to happen now. The options will be there for us. Let me be honest with you. If there is no electoral reform, and if there is no way to know the number of people living in Nigeria, they will continue to cook up figures. And Tanko technicality will continue to add figures too, to declare whoever shouldn't be governors. You understand that now? So to cut it short, when they ask me what is the way forward, my way forward is just to let you know that until you see the sign that you can participate, swell the rank, and defeat them in their charade, in their shenanigans, don't waste your time. Okay? Elections in Yoruba land is now war, where except if they know that those people in this area are ready to do their bidding, they will allow them to rig as they want, then there won't be violence. But it has become so violent that I won't encourage, I won't participate. So there's no point in me asking you that, let us go and vote when I know I won't vote. I won't let anybody shoot me. I won't let anyone attack me or kill me. I'm not going to risk it. I don't love Nigeria that much to do that. But guess what? If they put the referendum in Nigerian constitution today, if they give us the true figure of the people living in Nigeria, and I know that there is electoral reform as well, of course, I will participate in your election. I can then ask you, let us go and vote. How can I tell you to go and vote when I know that you may be shot, you may be killed, and nobody is going to be arrested? So I'm not going to be part of those that will ask you to do that anymore. If in 2023, things remain the same, what we'll do rather is just to continue our sermon, to continue to preach, to continue to remind all of you that the more you do this, the more you remain the same. Until you change it, nothing is going to change. And I think that will be my own solution for those asking me for way forward. I'll read the comments later. For those who have managed to also contribute, thank you. Time. And to my friends on YouTube, this lasted longer than expected, an hour and a half. I couldn't take calls today. So, and I enjoyed talking, by the way. So thank you so much for your time, everyone. I'll see you some other time. Good afternoon.
After the election where them do, we still dey wait for the change, All the promise when they make, it don't dey be like say na fake, Where the money, where the food, Cause everybody want improve. Since you come, no tears and pain, We don't tire to complain, I see the bad way you been do. You don't tear Nigeria into two. 97% and 5%. You know been talk like president. They rule Nigeria with sentiment. I take your office to revenge. Oh yeah now, Oga Buhari, we dey beg you. Let Nigeria no go scatter for your head, yo. Yes, after the election where them do, we still dey wait to see